somebody advised us. They're like, yo, why don't you guys just build a 2-bedroom house and just go in there and live? I would say, that makes sense, you know. Because if you build a 2-bedroom house, you don't have to pay this 300,000, 250,000 rent for a quality standard house. Because if you don't have more than like 300, 400,000, you're not going to get the the quality. Anything below that, the quality is going to be poor. Welcome to season 2 of Queen Jody and AP Uncensored Podcast. Uncensored. Yeah, guys, if you don't know who we are, my name is AP.
And I'm Queen Jody.
And we are a couple, a beautiful, vibrant couple. I would say we're vibrant, who decided to relocate from Jamaica to Gambia, going 4 years now. Yeah, with $500 and and we managed to turn our life around by utilizing our brains, this big head that we have, and this beautiful face, and find a way to sustain ourselves here in Africa, mostly in real estate, and we have been sharing our journey with you guys. And if you're new, you just go back to all of the playlists and you will see all of the wonderful work that we have been doing. Congrats to us. So we are joined today by a special guest. Mr. Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
You see it? Let me tell you the story behind this artwork, guys, because it's very interesting. We were just driving around the turntable here in Gambia, right?
Yeah.
And we saw this young Mr. Jallo. I forgot his first name.
Aliu Jallo.
He's the one that painted it. He was having it, and it just caught our eyes. And we're like, yo, we're going to buy this artwork because it's shot without telling the lie.
I want to tell you the story behind it. Aside from the fact that we see that it catch your eye, the reason why it catch your eye is because we have an intention to build our music studio. So we did just, and not just the music studio, because it's like a twofold studio. We do our podcast recording, as you can see.
Wow.
But the music section is like the other side where you can't see. So
you can't see.
With that in mind, when we saw the picture, we're like, this is good for the studio.
It can go.
Yeah.
We were going out to buy these nice things to try and work on our set for season 2 of our podcast.
That's right.
And we are so excited to be here with you guys. But today, the topic that we want to discuss is why haven't we built a house yet?
Yeah.
A lot of people have been asking us this. And so we want to share why we haven't, really started the process of building a house yet in the Gambia. If you are building a house in the Gambia, shout out to you. Congratulations on that. And so, let's jump into it. Queen.
Yes.
I think you would like to start this off. Like, why haven't we built a house yet? Why go on?
I mean, since we've been here, it's always been our goal to build our own place. Because, for me, I'm like, we need to have our base.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if we're going to travel the rest of Africa, you need to actually know that you have somewhere that you can come back home to.
That's true.
So that's why we even consider building a house in the Gambia.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll build somewhere else as well, but for now, it's like that. We know Gambia to an extent. We are building our family here in the Gambia, so why not have a home in the Gambia?
Exactly.
Epi, so it's been a roller coaster for us.
Too much.
Since we've been here and wheels on the ground running. You say like the plane on the tarmac. It's been like a few times that we really take our time and down. Yeah. And I think most of those times it was like when we actually got sick.
Yes.
Or we're just tired to the point where we have to rest.
Yeah.
We're forced to rest. So in the work process, after without the rest part, in the work process, we've been trying our best to accumulate, our finance in a way that we can sustain ourselves here. And so that's one of the reasons why I would say we haven't raised the funds as we would want to build a house without stopping. Because for me, once we start building, I don't want to stop.
I understand. I agree with what you're saying. It's mostly that, and spending 99.9% of our time helping people. Sometimes, to be honest, sometimes we give so much of ourselves that we feel like we're just going to turn over and just die on the street side. to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you make money and you end up give the money to somebody else because, you just feel like to just be a humanitarian. It's the truth. It might sound weird to you guys, like, why would you take your money that you want to use and build your house to give somebody? Because, that's just the kind of heart that we have as a human being.
Yeah.
And we always tell people that we're not trying to, out here make money to enrich ourselves. We're literally just here trying to help people and to, move forward, and God will always provide for us.
That's true.
You understand?
I mean, all right, if we should calculate, like, what have we been doing since we've been here?
Yeah.
Once you make money, you have to pay rent.
Yeah.
Because you need to live somewhere while you're here,
Exactly.
And nobody now gonna make you catch a them house just like that. Even if, them say, come catch, eventually you're gonna
Problems.
make and get something for rent
Lights.
or whatever. You understand?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me as well.
Exactly.
So, yes, since we've been here, we've been paying rent. And our rent experience, I think we've shared that
Too much
time
videos.
ago.
Too much videos.
So you have an understanding that most of the funds that we make go into rental. And I would say, aside from food, I think food is like the least. Medical bill
Food
and
is the least. How so? Yeah. Food is the least. Who said that?
we spend more on rent and maintaining our vehicle than food, and because there are times
You are
when me and
right
you we
about
don't
that.
eat.
You are
like
right
we will
about
spend
that.
whole day not eating anything.
And sometimes just once a day.
Exactly.
The kind of life that we're living is very crazy there.
So I mean, comparing the rental bill and the vehicle maintenance bill,
That's where all of the money go.
most of the money go there. So
And to be honest with you, we talk about how we started out doing affiliate marketing and, work our way towards partnering with a few locals to create a company. That is their company, by the way. You know, we help them to build it so that you see what we're talking about. We spend all our time and energy just helping people to have things, and we don't have anything.
Yeah.
So yes, we do have a land that is actually for sale, by the way.
Yeah. So if you want to make purchase,
the
just
land that
reach
we
out.
have is for sale now. Yeah, the one that we fence, we're selling it, guys.
Yeah.
And we're doing that to raise money to, start something else. Maybe give ourselves a chance to actually build a house.
Yeah.
So we're selling that land. So if you're interested, send an email to queenjourneyandap@gmail.com.
That's right.
Yes. So we haven't built our house yet because we spend most of the time and money that we have, we're investing it in other people instead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't even have clothes. Because
That's true. Like, I'm not afraid to say it. It's me buy me clothes them. Nobody knows send.
Say it.
I mean, me buy me clothes them. You know,
Exactly.
the money when me make buy me clothes. So if you see me in a one white frock for how much days, don't ask me why you're in the same white frock. If you want to buy me a new one, then that's fine.
Hey, not when your husband is here. When your husband is
No,
here.
ask my husband permission.
Thank
at
you
least.
very
But
much. Yeah.
I'm just saying, we spend less on ourselves than
We spend on others.
yeah.
Yes, but building a house though, it's not like it's very difficult. If one is planning to build a house in Gambia, you just need to know your way around certain things. The cement price is very high right now. Cement price is very
Yeah.
expensive right now.
There is an alternative, but some people say 6 or 1/2 dozen the other.
Exactly.
Because they say the cost that you will spend for building a brick house, like the earths.
Yeah. I
brick.
know them.
Yeah.
Red dirt thing.
It's almost in the same bracket as the cost for
Concrete.
building a concrete house. So for most people, they will just go with the concrete. But if you look at the longevity of it, though, the lifespan of a concrete house versus a brick house, the brick house will stand longer.
And it's much more
And
cooler.
It's much, yeah. So your bill is you can go solar, but still, if you go solar, the use of your solar is less with the brick house than with the concrete.
Why we haven't built a house yet in the Gambia
Yeah.
is very good question. The prices on things is a problem.
Yeah.
Finding good contractors is also a problem.
Yeah.
And to get the finishings that you want is also a problem. Like if in order to get the professional work, the cost that you have to pay for it is going to be a lot versus some other African countries where development
It's cheaper.
is cheaper there based on the fact that they
I
might
wouldn't even
produce
say
cement.
cheaper, but less expensive.
It's more. I was
More
watching.
affordable.
I was watching Marwa in Kenya building this massive mansion. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, he was telling us like in his video the price that he used to build his mansion there and the overall total. And to be honest with you, it's very reasonable because I think he
Compared
was
to
saying
building here.
exact. He was saying something around 100,000 US. I don't know how much. I think that's around $5-6 million. See. And in Gambia, you can actually just get like a 4-bedroom house with that price, newly built. While Mora is building an entire hotel for that price.
Yeah,
You
I
see,
know, right?
it's actually much more cheaper
Yeah.
to build in some African countries than Gambia. Some people will say, yo, why are you even building in Gambia then if it's so expensive? Like, why are you even living there? Why don't you go somewhere else then and just live there and build there? The truth is, yes, building construction is very expensive in Gambia, but there's a lot of other opportunities in Gambia that you won't have anywhere else
At this particular time.
at this particular time. And that's why a lot
Understand.
of people will rather to stay in Gambia, buy one of the expensive house, no matter how small, and sit and live. But another thing for us is we're not interested in building a house that we're going to live in right now. We are more interested in monetizing real estate than
Yeah.
just have it as a liability.
Yeah.
Because a house can become a liability as well.
That's true.
And we don't want liabilities when it comes to real estate.
Yeah,
So we're like, okay, somebody advised us. They're like, yo, why don't you guys just build a 2-bedroom house and just go in there and live? I would say, that makes sense, Because if you build a 2-bedroom house, you don't have to pay this 300,000, 250,000 rent for a quality standard house. Because if you don't have more than like 300, 400,000, you're not going to get the the quality.
Yeah.
Anything below that, the quality is going to be poor and not maintained.
That's true.
So
That's
it's
true.
like
likely.
they're saying, why don't you just go and rent why don't you just build a 2-bedroom house and save that 200,000? You understand? You can take $500,000 say, and build a 2-bedroom house. It might not be the cutest thing, but it's something that you can live in and save some money. I'm like, that makes sense. But if I build a 2-bedroom house and it's cute, right? And I can live in there with my wife and, my kids. How is that going to benefit us long term when we spend all of the money there to build the house and then we can't monetize nothing else?
Understand.
But they're going to say, okay, so whatever you were doing to make the money, why don't you continue doing that after you build a 2-bedroom and then use that money to build something else that you can rent out?
I would say just for me, I would more like I definitely want our own space that we can stop the renting.
Yeah.
But I want us to add to what we are earning, if that makes sense. So I want us to, what you would call it, maximize
Income.
our income stream. Because, living on 1 or 2 income stream is not enough.
That's true.
That's
true. Would you like, since we have chosen not to build our houses because of some of the stuff that we talk about, but for somebody who is watching that may say, yo, I'm coming to the Gambia, or I'm going to Ghana, or wherever they're going, and they're thinking, should I build a house or should I rent a house? Or should I buy a house?
Yeah.
What would you advise that person, for
Okay,
example?
for me, I would say it depends on a few factors. Like considering the location, like for example, a place like Rwanda,
Wow,
Kenya,
Rwanda is nice
Ghana, Nigeria, you can get a better designed house that, the finish is good. Certain quality like luxury look. You can have that in those countries. So buying is an option for those countries.
That is correct.
But it depends on also the location in those countries, because then the value of the properties in those countries also have to match your pocket, your budget. You understand? So while you might get a proper built house in these countries, is your pockets having that amount?
Okay.
You get me? For building now, you know, you can come to probably West Africa, you might get lands cheaper. But
That's a
the
good
construction, people still struggle to get quality construction. Right now in Gambia, most of the building construction that is taking place is not by Gambians. It's by Senegalese, Sierra Leone's. I mean, even Ghanaians
Yes.
are here building. You understand? So all of that is a factor, you know, in considering if you want to buy or build
What
or
you
rent.
what you say is very interesting because I like that you say in the western side, some Western African countries cheaper to buy a piece of land than some, but it's actually cheap to buy land in Kenya.
Yeah,
But the problem is you cannot buy it without a Kenyan.
exactly.
And Tanzania also, you have to have a Tanzanian
I mean,
on it.
from my understanding, to buy a land or a house here in Gambia is you would be the rightful owner for that property. If you get what I mean, you don't have to say a Gambian have to be on it in order for you to own it.
Exactly.
And as a non-Gambian, to be honest, the size of the land is also a factor because you cannot own, or based on law, you cannot buy more than a 50 by 50 in one location. That's what I understand.
That's true.
If I am incorrect, someone out there can correct me.
No, but what you're saying is according to physical planning, and they are responsible for these things.
Okay.
Yes.
So in other countries, yes, you might be able to buy a bigger size land, but they're not going to sell you outright. You have to have, for example, as AP mentioned, in Tanzania, you have to have a Tanzanian attached or a Kenyan attached. It's not bad, but then you have to trust those persons that you are going to be buying it with or from, or it has to be your family member.
Exactly.
In order for you to do that. So
it's true. I have heard stories of people. Well, first, let me add to it like 50 by 50 residential land, 100 by 100 agricultural land in Gambia. That's what you can buy. Anything beyond that is illegal.
Yeah,
and that's
as a non-Gambian.
As a non-Gambian, that's according to physical planning. Unless you have a registered entity that is licensed to trade in and buy and trade in real estate, anything else outside of that is illegal. That's what we are aware of. Exactly.
If you have other information, you can please confirm it with us.
Share it. We would like to know so others can know too. Thank you very much. Matter of fact, guys, please remember to visit www.diretogoldclub.com. If you are interested in joining the family of people who want to learn about investing in Gambia or Africa overall, or invest, and you want to learn about some of the opportunities that are on the ground, go there. Shout out to everybody that come and reach out to us through Dirt to Go. We love you guys. Yes.
That's
okay.
Right.
So in Kenya and Tanzania, these places that are popping right now, you cannot buy a piece of land without somebody on it. I'm not sure about the procedure of lands in Rwanda, but I don't think maybe it's too expensive. I know Rwanda look like a prime real estate though.
Rwanda
based on the
is prime
videos that
real
we're
estate.
seeing, it's like prime real estate. And it's an ideal place for a lot of people that are coming from the diaspora who just want to relax. They don't bother with this drama, and they just want to go up in the hills, put a nice house where they're seeing out the lake view type vibes.
Yeah.
They don't really want to come and deal with the hardship of maybe like a Gambia where things are tough. And you really have to have thick skin and a toughness to live in Gambia.
CSA, I got thick skin and elastic heart.
You have to have that in Gambia.
Yeah, you have to have that.
But still, Gambia have a certain thing about it that is attracting a lot of people. And Gambia is not cheap to live there.
No.
And it's not cheap to build.
It is becoming, in everywhere, there is cost You understand? Especially with now the inflation still on. A lot of people have been retired. A lot of people, well, companies are like changing out, having physical people in their spaces and working with technology more and stuff like that. You know, people are losing their homes, especially for those who have been on mortgage and stuff like that. And because of the fluctuation, you know, price mortgage go up, you know, and cost for houses may drop, but the mortgage is still up there. So 6 or one half dozen the other.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when in Gambia, you can come probably and buy a land and build an inexpensive home that you can, you know, do your backyard garden.
Correct.
You know, your homestead. You don't have to have no nawek if you don't want. You can put your solar. You know, you can work with borehole. So like in Jamaica where you're stuck on GIS. I mean,
and GIS.
JPS. Sorry, JPS. Forgive me, GIS. JPS. You know, when your bill go up in the heat. You know, at least you can have your solar and your borehole, and your living expense is maintained. You can live life. You can live life here in Gambia, to be honest, but you have to be also making an income.
What do you think about, like, you know, the whole conversation is why we are not building in Gambia yet, or why we haven't built in Gambia yet? Your hand is outside the screen.
My apologies.
Why we haven't built in Gambia yet, and you know, maybe some opportunities that are available. What do you think about a local type house? And I don't mean the red dirt. I mean, like, you know, they have the old traditional housing.
You mean like
that
the
is
touch?
Nice. Yeah, like we call it touch, but I don't know what they call it here. They will use the coney tree and some other things and make it.
After I'm afraid to build that.
No,
it's just that.
I mean, like to you just talk about sustaining yourself.
Yeah.
And you know that's also an idea. You know, to just use the coney tree design, traditional type home. That is nice. You know, you can make that look luxurious though.
That is true. All right. Take, for example, the other day I was watching one of these YouTubers that she goes around and record like people who are building, I think in Ghana.
Yeah, she's very nice.
I don't remember her name, but there was this lady that she, from her Uber money, because she was an Uber driver, and she bought land, and she went on that land and built. It was like with coconut tree thing,
Yes.
and you know, her neighbor helped her, and it was so cool. And I was like, most people will not try that because of fear. You understand? You say, okay, like for example, for us, we would say in that era we don't know the language very well, and you know, we're thinking of security, which is very good for you to think about because you want to know that you are safe. But to be honest with you, if you're really thinking about saving money, if you don't have money, instead of renting an expensive house, you know, you could actually build that. Take the coney tree, get the wood, build it.
Yeah, make
you
it
understand?
nice.
It's just that we didn't do it, but we could do it if we wanted to, and make it luxurious.
Yes, even if you go as far as putting a concrete fence because you want to make it a little bit more secure. If it's not inside or like a residence
area,
where there are houses, street lights, it's just you put your solar lights and you build a concrete fence, and you know, you get a couple dogs to make sure that they're barking in a place if anything. You know,
you set up electrical wire.
And you do like a little backyard garden style where you have access to certain necessities to survive. And that's it. If you need to go out in the city, it's just to go and check two business partners, maybe to buy certain sanitary items, and you come back and you can live on less.
We could actually still do that if we wanted to, but we just never made that an option for us.
We never make it an option because we spend a lot of our time, as I said.
We were occupied with the company and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
helping people to make themselves better while we were not better. It's the truth.
Yeah.
And so this 2024, 2025, we're going to spend some time on ourselves. And we need that time. in this podcast season 2 coming, we're going to be sharing a lot more about our real estate journey, what we see, what we
What
have
we've
overcome,
learned, yeah.
opportunities like crazy that are available, and how our viewers, you guys, can possibly learn about them, how you can take advantage of them. On the Dirt to Gold website, we will be adding some more amenities for you guys, where where you can check out opportunities that are available, because we see
Yeah.
them. So we're like, even if we write about them, everybody can know about them, but only our members will have access
Access
to
to them.
the not to them, but the members will have access to them at the membership benefits.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
If you're not a member, then you have to go through it yourself. But if as a member, then you get the benefits
That's
that you will
right.
not, yeah. So there's a lot of opportunities, and we're going to be listing them on the dirttogoclub.com website.
That's right.
Yeah. So will we ever build a house in Gambia? Of course, we will build a house in Gambia, but on our own time. We will not let anything or anyone force us to rush and do it. We will do it when we're ready to do it, and when it's time
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah,
Because everything is about timing,
that's true.
and so when the time is right, we'll know, and we'll do
It's,
it.
to be honest with you, like, for me, people will say when you're ready, but there's no, like, really being ready for anything. I don't know if that makes sense. No matter how prepared you are for something, there's still something that you're not prepared for.
Yeah.
Because
But-
you don't know the turns of life.
But when you're ready, you're ready. That's
I
what I
under-
mean.
I understand.
It's not about
like,
people there.
Yeah.
It's about you and me, and us as a family.
Yeah.
When we are ready. It's not when people say, "Oh, are you guys not going to build a house? I can't be a village. Yes, I can build a house." Yeah. No, it's about when we are ready, then we'll do it. You
Yeah.
know? Building a house is a very important part of every human being's life, especially if you're thinking about a family. And so it has to be right.
Yeah.
And one more time before we go, guys, remember that we have our land available for sale. If you're interested, it's fenced. Send an email at queenjodianap@gmail.com if you're interested in buying it. We just want to sell it and start fresh, okay? So it's available. And yeah, anyone interested, reach out to us.
That's right.
Anything you want to leave with our viewers, our listeners, like, what is any more important point that you would like to,
Touch on.
yeah.
I mean, in regards to, like, not building a house, or
Yeah, would you say come and rent or come and build? What would you say? Because a lot of people may advise come and build, but what would you
in
advise?
the initial, I would say come and rent. Because especially if you're trying to figure out if this is a place that you want to be, or if this is a place that is good for you, because everybody is different, you understand? And
That's
everybody
correct.
can tolerate the heat of Gambia.
Yeah, right now
You
it's
know,
hot
I mean,
there.
Tanzania and Rwanda and those places have cooler. Kenya have
Cool.
cooler places, and it's rain may fall more than Gambia, like,
Correct.
and like the landscape is a bit different, because, like, Gambia is a little bit more on the flat end. Well, in most of those countries you have, like,
Hills, valleys.
and valleys, and different from the Gambia River, you have, like, waterfalls and stuff like that that those places have. So it depends on, okay, the country that you choose to go to. If you want to be there, then I think the first thing to do is rent. But if
Okay.
you already know in your heart that that's the place that you should be, then I don't see why you shouldn't build a house there.
That is true. I mean, I was watching a video on Jasmine Amma channel, and sometimes, guys, we're going to review some of those videos that we see because they're so interesting.
Yeah.
And, we're just going to talk about some of the important things that they say in them. But it was about a family that came to Ghana, and they didn't hesitate. They built a house and they set up a business. I forgot what the business is. Oh my God. But it's
Was
a
it a
father and
restaurant?
son, I think. And they were doing this business, and they build this nice house, and they make it their home. Ghana is their home. That's where they're going to stay. They, as you say, as you go, where this is where you should be. You just set roots.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, building or not to build is up to what you feel inside yourself.
Yeah.
For us, we wanted to build in Gambia, but we spend most of our time assisting other people, empowering other people, and forgot to empower ourselves in that process. But
Yeah.
we're going to focus on that going forward, definitely. Please, guys, comment and let us know if you find any value in what we have discussed in this video today, and also if you have any subject area regarding real estate and what we cover on this podcast that you want us to discuss next time. Comment it below so that we may know. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please share it and stay tuned for another upcoming episode on the Queen Jody and AP Uncensored podcast.
That's right, and thanks to our guests for
Thanks to
keeping
our special
company.
guest. I don't know if you guys want to see him next episode. Do you guys want to see him next episode? Tell us if you want to see our special guest next
AP,
episode.